You know what I'm saying? And actually heal and see it. When you heal, you see things from a different way. You don't look at people, what they've done to you. You look at the situation. Okay. So, and when you can look at it through that, then you move differently. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree with that. But at the same time, when it comes to logic and emotion, I think there are some women out there that can use logic and operate off of logic, but inherently, DNA-wise, y'all are going to intuitively operate through emotion first. 100%. And with men, logic first. Right. Even though we do have some emotional dudes out here that are too emotional. And
there's nothing wrong with men being emotional. That's what, it needs to be normalized. No, you know what I'm saying? That's why men are so emotional, because they're being taught to bottle that.
Wait. Stop. Wait.
You
Time
see
out.
my look?
Wait. Be careful with the wordplay, because it's okay for men to use emotion in certain moments, but not normalize it. Because normalize it, you're going to crash. Hold on. Because if you normalize emotion through men, that means that you're gonna over time create this beta, weak, emotionally driven guy,
destructive, aggressive, serial killer, sociopath.
True.
All such extreme,
or the ones that are just emotionally
narcissists, all that motherfucker.
So
you can have emotion and still be masculine, though.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
So, but the men that you're talking about are the men that are emotional and then go to femininity because they probably were raised by a single mom and that's all they've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? That's all they've ever seen. They've never seen a man get emotional. You know what I'm saying? And they've been taught to not be emotional as a man. So it's like, and that's not right. Men should still be emotional, but again, have that masculinity about the emotion.
Right.
So then they ain't out here, you know.
I agree.
Now let me attack this point about how you were talking about how the men are leaving all this other stuff. My theory is, just as many men are leaving, are women pushing niggas away.
No, that's true. And I agree with that. I agree with
that.
So
I can't just blame it on the guys. Why
it's not anybody's fault.
Like, a lot of these guys that are being raised by these single moms, it's the woman that pushed that dude out.
It's generational trauma that is being passed and passed and passed, and it's getting stronger and stronger. So let's get to the core of the issue. Let's get to the generational trauma. Let's get to, the beliefs that you've been told because, of the lack of, you know what I'm saying? And let's get there. You know what I'm saying? Let's get there. You know what I'm saying? So we can scratch on the surface all day long and that's Band-Aids, but it's like if you want to get to the core of it, that's the core.
Didn't I tell you? I told you. Didn't I tell you?
I can just see it. It's rare to catch me to concede to this degree, but I can respect that response.
Look, I got a quick question.
Actually engaged on the back and forth, respect.
I got a quick question. I was talking to
First
Horton
the mini.
Go ahead.
I was talking to Horton about this. So I remember watching this video and everything like that. So I know y'all females go through y'all heartbreaks and everything like that, and then y'all go through this thing y'all call celibacy and everything like that. Why is it that when y'all do get a guy and y'all tell him this about the celibacy and all that, why is it that y'all affect that guy by saying that y'all going through that celibacy and all that?
Isn't that a question for y'all?
Look, this is what y'all. I can help him on the question. Here's the question.
Isn't that a question for y'all?
Why is it? Y'all hurting us.
Here's the reason why you think that's a question for y'all. It's because it's the men that are enabling that. Yeah. So what he's trying to say is, you did what you did before him. Why does he have to pay for it? Yeah. But you're like, well,
why does it pay for it?
And like, yeah, because you're saying, why does it pay for it if it's just me living me and it's me involved with other guys before you? What they got to do with you now? But what they got to do with you now is that I can only respect the type of woman that would keep the same consistency, even up until meeting me. So if you could keep that same energy, or you got to change for me?
If she told you she's healed and she's changed, would you want that old one?
I told her to change tomorrow.
No, would you want that old one back? Because you don't know what you're unleashing when you ask.
She probably had that trauma.